Well, folks, just a wee quick one. Just listening to a wee podcast yesterday, and this is for all the people out there who are considered to be ADHD, ADD, out of control, can't focus, don't have a brain, can't settle for 5 minutes. All the stuff that goes with being termed as a person with ADD or ADHD. So I was listening to a podcast yesterday from the Freedom Model for Addictions, and it was quite interesting. And it actually made me sort of reflect on my own journey and stuff, and I've been thinking a lot about it. So they started talking about people with ADHD and how they can't focus on one thing, and they're jumping from one thing to another thing. They start things, can never stop them, or they start 5 different things at one time and can't finish one of them. And and they were saying it's not because of the ADHD that they can't focus or they can't sort of start a project from start to end. It's because most of the things that ADD sufferers and ADHD sufferers do is they start projects that they're not really psyched up about. They're not really jumping into it, and it sort of made me think about my journey. And I remember looking back to education, to do an access to university program, and don't get me wrong, it was a struggle from the start. And I remember hating every class, every single class, and sitting in classes and almost falling asleep and stuff because I was just so bored. I was bored. The first assignment I ever wrote was one sentence and it was 3 pages long. There was no grammar in it, there was no full stops, there was no capital letters, because I'd never learned how to write something before. Fast forward to then, I write for a platform called Medium. I put articles out on a regular basis. I actually really enjoy writing now. I write all my own programs and from start to finish. And it made sense to me what they were saying. Like I said there, I write my own programs and I write on Medium. I actually really enjoy doing that. I actually really buzz when I'm going to do this stuff. And I'm really, really involved in the whole process because I'm passionate about it. But when I looked from a journey from the access in the university course, then I get into university and things sort of changed in university. I was looking at my marks. I have a folder there with all my stuff in it that I've done over the years. And I was looking at my marks and I could see that some subjects I had seriously high marks in, and other subjects I just done enough to get by. So when I was doing an undergrad, it was 40 plus was a pass, and then you went up obviously in the levels, a pass, a 2-2, a 2-1, and then a first. So I was looking at my marks and I seen some of them were really high, some of them were really low. And when I really looked at it, I seen that the high marks was all the stuff that I was really interested in, all the stuff that I could get my teeth into in the class through discussion, through writing assignments, researching it, all that stuff, that I really enjoyed it and I really done well in it. And then I've done like post-grad stuff after that. In Queens I did a post-grad diploma in criminology. Again, I looked at the marks, some seriously high stuff, some okay stuff, and some stuff just enough to get a pass. And it made me see the patterns over the years. And I think it's really, really interesting. And that's why I want to do a video, is for anybody else out there who's possibly the same. They jump from thing to thing, or they're late for everything that they go to do, or, they're very, very untidy around them and stuff like that there. And that's when I know that I'm not in a good place, is when my car's untidy or my home's untidy. Then I know I need to clear my mind up. But the interesting thing about it was the learning curve was looking back on all the stuff. So it got me to start pulling out a whole lot of different other stuff last night and looking at it. And I love patterns. I love seeing patterns and stuff like that. And I could see the patterns clearly in my learning, where it peaked and then it stagnated. It peaked, it stagnated. And it was during times when I thought about, the actual modules that I was doing, that some of them I really, really enjoyed. I could really get my teeth in it, and other ones I just had no interest at all. But I could also see in it where I was applying my lived experience to those modules and really, really learning from the lived experience and the stuff that was being taught in the classroom. Then in turn getting involved in conversations that, challenging conversations about certain theories or certain ways things are done and stuff. And that's what really, really brought my interest in, because I'm really interested in it. Today, in my life today, I do work, and a guy told me as a way back at the start, and I never really understood what he meant, but I understand it now. And his words to me were, get a job you love doing, you'll never work a day in your life again. And that's just where I am in my life today. I do work that I love doing, and it's not even like working, and I can see where I put my heart and soul into it because I'm really interested about it. But then if I get, say, a letter about something that I have to address, it may take me 2, 3, sometimes 4 weeks to even respond, because it's not something that's in the forefront of my mind, because I'm not overly interested in it. So yeah, check it out, the Freedom Model for Addictions, the Addiction Solution podcast it's called. And the last episode that they published was about ADHD, ADD, and other mental illnesses, mental health issues that are to the forefront of a lot of people's minds. And it made so much sense. Yesterday, they made so much sense to me. So much so that I went and pulled everything out last night, all my certificates, all my learning, everything. And I started seeing clearly in that there are the patterns of when I was involved and when I wasn't involved. Then I started adding the lived experience stuff to the stuff that I was really involved in, and it all just made so much sense. It all just made so much sense. So I think if you suffer from ADD, ADHD, don't listen to the narrative that you can't focus and your head's all over the place, and and you'll never achieve nothing because you're just a scatterbrain and all that stuff. No, I'm here to say no, that's not the case. I would suggest you just haven't found your niche yet. You just haven't found the niche in where you would be seriously interested, and you will, one, not procrastinate, and two, be very, very interested that you will get it done. My current employment at the minute, at times I have deadlines that I have to sign things off and upload them to certain things on the internet, like that hold them recording, like where you put information up online. I need to upload a lot of stuff, and sometimes I just I'm just about getting it just before I upload it. But that's the part of the job that I don't like, is the administration part. But I love the delivery, I love the conversations, I love when people really get tuned in to what's really going on for them. So I thought I would just put that out today. Anybody suffering from ADD, ADHD, there's a few other ones that they mentioned. I just think it's an interesting podcast, The Addiction Solution. If you want to find out more, go and watch it, guys. I'm telling you, it's really helped me over this last couple of days. Listen, keep moving forward, keep putting one foot in front of the other, keep moving forward, and keep putting the effort into you, because everybody out there is worth it. Regardless of what you think, you're worth it. Take care, guys.